I am the Company Sergeant Major of D Company, Leicestershire, Northamptonshire and Rutland Army Cadet Force. I joined the Army in August of 1988. I served 25 years. I was a combat engineer. I also did my carpenter and joiner training down at Chatham, and I was an engineer at Resources Corporal. I left in September of 2013. During the initial period of the transition from Army life, it was very strange. I'd gone from literally being told what was happening every day to some days not knowing what was going to happen, when things were going to be done. And the disorder of it all was a bit daunting at times, a bit concerning, but eventually you get back into the swing of it and you realise how life works. I think the things that you miss is everybody will say the same. It's always the blokes, the lads, the lasses on the ground. Nobody misses the job. Nobody misses any job really, but it's the people there. That's what you miss. So I first heard about the cadets many years before I even joined. I was a cadet in Northumbria Army Cadet Force as a young man from the northeast. So it was something I enjoyed, and I liked what the adults put back in. When I was getting out of the Army, I knew I'd be settling in an area that I'm not from. So it was an opportunity I saw that I'd be able to make friends and I'd be able to keep some of the camaraderie as such, because I knew there was ex-servicemen within it. So I'd be able to get some of the banter and have some of the laughs. Otherwise, it was just going to be eat, sleep, work, repeat. So I needed something for me, and that's what I looked at it for. The concerns about joining as an adult was the time to give. How much time was it? Which is quite laughable now, because it seems I'm very much here most weeks now. The initial concerns of it consuming my life was knocked back. It was, like I say, one parade night, your company weekends, so there's 3 priority weekends, an annual camp if you can, because obviously everybody's got a proper job, they've got bills to pay, and they know it's a volunteer thing. I'm quite fortunate with the military side of life. A lot of it obviously does transfer across. Drill's still drill, fieldcraft's still fieldcraft. I've also been very lucky that in L&R they've got a lot of adults who've only ever done cadets, so they can help rein in the craziness of the regular army and bring it back to, it's other people's kids, and this is how we teach. And it's nice to watch them and snatch all the good bits from them to try and make myself a better instructor all around, because it is working very much at the younger level. And it is, I never turned up to be the shouty, screaming man anyway. Don't need to. Yeah, there's parts of the role that are more challenging, as you do expect it to be a bit different. But obviously these are the bottom line, ultimately other people's children that you've got to try and guide through a very formative part of their years. So trying to get it correct is the challenge, and at times the pause. We used to call it the condor moment in the Army, where you'd have a step back, take a big deep breath and have that think, as opposed to just leaping in, because you don't know what's going on at home. So yeah, that's been challenging. So a significant moment is when one of the cadets, who ended up speaking to me later on as an adult, freely admitted that they would have probably taken their own life without the involvement that we'd had in their life. I think what surprised me most was the impact that it made. I don't think a lot of adults realise the positive impacts that we do have on these kids, on the cadets' lives. So that was one of those moments where you do sit back and think, well, clearly I'm doing something right. Not all the time, but I must get something right every now and again. The stuff I bring with the military experience side of life is I can bring a bit of realism, because obviously I did 3 tours of Iraq, tour of Afghan. I was in Northern Ireland, Sierra Leone and Bosnia on operations. But the biggest thing I think I would bring, which my RSM occasionally frowns upon, is the bants in the background. And we get the kids smiling. Because if they're smiling, you've won half the battle. The sense of purpose from this is obviously very different from the military service. From that, it was to serve Queen and country, as they would say. Whereas this, it's just trying to make a positive impact on the cadets' lives, as opposed to leaving them. Obviously, some of the areas we do work in are impoverished. Some of them are a bit poorer than others, and it's very easy for kids to get sucked into the wrong side of life. The adjustments I made after leaving the forces were very much helped by the cadet force. Like I said, it's quite similar, the camaraderie, and it is nice to see people So it did help on the movement, because I think without the ACF it would have just been literally eat, sleep, work, repeat, and I'd have burnt myself out. With this, it sounds mad, because obviously we come here and we'll get home and after a weekend shattered, especially if we've been doing section attacks or something, which I don't get involved in that much nowadays because running up and down's killing me. But it is, you get back shattered, but it's been a good weekend and my mind's at peace. What I'd say to service leavers if they're thinking about joining the ACF, I'd definitely say give it a go. You've got to have a try of it. There's a lot of brilliant adults in the cadets who do this, served and haven't served. But if you're thinking about it, give it a whirl. You've got nothing to lose. It is fun. You can have a laugh and you can make a difference.